Hello everybody, this is Dusty with my pickups from this week. I only picked up 3 things, so it was a little bit more of a stagnant week when it came to number of pickups, but 2 of the items are very high quality, pretty high priced for what I would consider a typical week is. So I'm just going to go through all of the items right now, starting with the least significant and ending with the most. So, least significant, I got an upgrade copy of Sonic Unleashed. It has the manual, the disc, I have my sales receipt in here, and it cost me $3. $3, but I figure that's not a bad price to pay for an upgraded copy of this. My copy, I have no idea what happened to it. I just had a disc-only copy that disappeared, so I'm happy to upgrade this and have it back. So that's pretty great. Now for the slightly more significant thing, we have, and basically I'll just go through the story of how I got this. I walked into the pawn shop one morning, didn't see anything, so I left. Then I was working on my sister's house with my mom, and my mom's like, why don't you go buy a TV season at Easy Pawn or see what movies they have? So I'm like, alright, I'll go over there and see what they have. And they had nothing in the morning. Like, literally no consoles, the same games. And when I walked in later in the day, their shelf was lined with consoles. Like, you wouldn't believe it. There had to be 10 PS3s, 10 Xbox 360s, 10 Wiis. It was pretty crazy. And one of those consoles was this one. It was a Wii, complete in the box. Came with Wii Sports Resort disc, the console, the controller, all for $30. So, I mean, that's alright with me. So I ended up getting it because I figured I'm probably not going to find a better deal on this. It'd probably cost at least $20 to ship a boxed Wii, so why not get it now, because I probably won't be able to find another boxed Wii like this later. So, for a better price, by that matter. So, that was the slightly less significant thing. Now, the next thing is very significant to me because I didn't have one of these. So, basically, trying to short up the long story here, I walk into the pawn shop, I think it was Wednesday or so, and I look around, I don't really see much, no new games, nothing really new, other than I see, basically, it's an as-is sticker on a PlayStation 3, so I'm alright. I looked at it, it looked like $40, and I will not drop $40 on an as-is console. That's my policy. I go 20 or below. That's my policy for as-is consoles. Even if they work fine, they're just very hard, I mean, work fine other than one aspect, they're very hard to sell, even if it's like a dead composite port. You can't really sell it, and I don't like having broken things in my collection. So, I look at it again, and upon further investigation, I see this sticker on it. $20 won't go. So, now, as you're probably thinking right now, and I was thinking to myself, what the heck does won't go mean? But, apparently that's what they have on all of their items there now. Just, that's as is. It's as is, won't go on everything. And I don't know if this makes sense to the person who's putting the stickers on the things, but won't go can mean a lot of things. And apparently, it didn't mean it won't work, because I went up to the guy that I talk to at the pawn shop all the time, usually check out with him just because he's an awesome guy, always make sure I'm getting a fair deal, so that's good on him. Big shout out to him. But I asked him, what's wrong with this console? I mean, what does won't go mean? He's like, oh, well, I think on that one the disk drive won't work. It won't read discs. So I'm like, okay. Other than that, does it work? And he's like, yep, it works other than that. So I'm like, okay. I guess I'll go for it because, why not? I mean, if anything, it's a Netflix streaming device, so $20 for a broken PS3 that just won't read discs, that's not bad. I mean, if anything, if I wanted a game for the PS3 really bad, I can just download it. So why not? So I said, go ahead, grab it out of the case. I want it. So he brings it in, and this is it. This is the PlayStation 3 here. It's the second model. They had the first model, which was fat and had hardware problems. Then the third one, which was kind of a cheaper design with the cheap opening disc tray. You can see those like on YouTube. There's reviews of them everywhere. So, but yeah, this is actually my favorite model, other than the fact it won't play PS2 games. So that's a big factor for me. But I do really like this console because they're reliable and they're not so cheap as to have like a little flappy open door. So I ended up buying it. He brought out a controller. The controller was just complete garbage. It was a first-party controller. It just didn't work. I didn't really care since it was a $20 PS3. So I was like, and I got it to work, but the R1 button doesn't work on it. I would show you the controller, but I don't have it with me right now. But he also brought in an HDMI cord with it, the power cord, everything so that it's all ready to go. So I'm like, okay, that's a good deal now, because he brought in a $20 controller, which I got the console for $20, so that's pretty good. So I brought it home because I was thinking, you know, all night I'm probably gonna have to troubleshoot this thing, try to get it to work, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I plug it into my TV, I turn it on, and it doesn't show me any picture. I was a little bit panicked, but it turned out it was just configured to work with the HDMI port, and my TV doesn't have HDMI. So I just plugged it into my other TV because I didn't want to have to worry about resetting the AV on it. So I plugged it into my little TV with HDMI in it, and of course it worked. As far as showing the home screen, all the apps on it worked fine. But the disk drive, I was like, okay, so what am I gonna have to do with this disk drive? So I should have asked, like, does it eat disks or something like that? Because I was a little bit worried to put a disk in the disk drive, right? So I figured I'd go with a disk to put in to test it that I really didn't care about much. So I grabbed Madden 2005 for the PlayStation 1, popped it in, it worked. I was very surprised. It just worked flawlessly. So I'm like, okay, that's strange. Maybe it's the CD laser works, but the DVD or Blu-ray disc one doesn't. So I pop in a DVD. DVD laser works. So, I put in Batman Arkham Asylum, put that in the console, and it launched and it worked perfect. So this thing has absolutely no problems. This is a perfectly working console that I got for $20. So I think that's pretty impressive. Sorry about the whole rambling, but, you know, I think it's pretty cool to find a PS3 for $20. But, yeah, other than the controller, which I really don't like the PlayStation 3 controller, I use an Afterglow one with the analog stick where it should be, in my opinion, like the Xbox 360 controller or the GameCube controller, all those controllers around that time. But, yeah, altogether, I think this was a great week. Didn't find anything after that. A little bit sad by that. Found nothing at the Goodwill, despite going there 6 out of the 7 days of the week because I was bored and had nothing else to do. So, yeah, that's my week's pickups. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope the rambling didn't annoy you too much. If you liked this video, please go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe. And if you didn't like this video, please tell me what I did wrong in the comments so I can improve for further videos. So, thank you guys for watching, and just have a good one. Thanks infinitely for watching, supporting my channel, and I'll see you next video.